The wind whispered through the ancient trees, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers. The moon hung low in the midnight sky, casting an eerie glow over the desolate landscape. I stood at the edge of the forest, the hairs on the back of my neck standing on end. Something was wrong, and I could feel it in my bones. My family lived on the outskirts of town, in a creaky old mansion that seemed to groan with every passing breeze. It was a place filled with secrets, the kind that lingered in the air and sent shivers down your spine. We were 3 sisters, bound by blood, but separated by something more profound. I was the eldest, cautious and reserved. Margaret, the second sister, was the wild one, always chasing adventure. And then there was Emily, the third sister, who had always been different. It started innocently enough. Emily began to withdraw from the world, her once bright eyes now clouded with a darkness that sent chills through my soul. She spoke in hushed whispers to someone unseen, her laughter echoing through the empty halls when no one else was around. At first, we dismissed it as a phase, a teenage rebellion against the mundane. But as the days passed, Emily's behavior grew more erratic. She would wake up in the middle of the night, her eyes wide with terror, claiming that a shadowy figure stood at the foot of her bed, whispering sinister secrets only she could hear. The air in the house became heavy with an otherworldly presence, and an unsettling feeling settled over us like a thick fog. One night, I awoke to the sound of Emily's voice, low and guttural, echoing through the hallway. The air was charged with an unnatural energy as I approached her room. The door creaked open, revealing Emily standing in the center, her eyes pitch black and vacant. It was as if something had taken residence within her, something not of this world. "Emily," I called, my voice trembling. No response. She simply stared at me with those empty eyes. A chill ran down my spine as I felt a gust of cold air brush past me, carrying with it a whispered voice that seemed to emanate from the very walls. "What you want?" I stumbled back, my heart racing. The entity within Emily reveled in our fear, feeding on the darkness that permeated the house. Desperation set in as I sought answers, scouring ancient tomes and dusty manuscripts for a way to banish the malevolent force that gripped my sister. Days turned into nights, and the once familiar halls of our home became a labyrinth of shadows. Margaret, too, had begun to sense the growing malevolence, her carefree spirit replaced by a silent dread. Together, we confronted the sinister entity that had taken hold of Emily, performing rituals in dimly lit rooms surrounded by flickering candles. But the entity was cunning, eluding our every attempt to exorcise it. It toyed with us, manipulating our senses and distorting our reality. As we delved deeper into the occult, the line between the living and the supernatural blurred, and the once protective walls of our home became a prison of our own making. One fateful night, guided by an unseen force, we found ourselves in the decaying attic of the mansion. The air was thick with the stench of ancient dust and decay. A single flickering candle illuminated a tattered journal that lay open on a weathered table. The journal spoke of a dark pact made by a previous inhabitant, a pact that bound their soul to the very essence of the house. The realization struck me like a bolt of lightning. The entity was not an outsider. It was an integral part of the mansion itself, a malevolent force that fed on the despair of those who dared to reside within its walls. Emily, the unsuspecting victim, had become the vessel through which this ancient evil sought to regain its power. With newfound determination, Margaret and I embarked on a perilous journey to break the cursed pact. We traversed the treacherous corridors of the mansion, facing manifestations of our deepest fears. As we reached the heart of the house, a room long forgotten, we discovered a decaying portrait of the previous owner, the one who had willingly entered into the unholy alliance. Equipped with this understanding, we chanted a sacred ritual that had been transmitted across centuries, releasing the entangled forces that shackled the entity to our realm. A surge of power permeated the atmosphere, causing the very structure of the mansion to pulsate. Emily quivered, and within a fleeting instant her gaze regained its lucidity. The entity retaliated, releasing a surge of wickedness that posed a significant threat to us. However, through the power of sisterhood and an unwavering determination, we emerged victorious. The mansion trembled one last time, purging the ancestral malevolence that had haunted our family for countless generations. As the first light of dawn broke, we emerged from the mansion, battered but triumphant. The once imposing structure now stood silent and still, its malevolence vanquished. Emily, though scarred by the ordeal, was free from the grip of the entity that had possessed her. The horror that had unfolded within the walls of our home would forever be etched in our memories, a testament to the darkness that could lurk in the most unexpected places. As we walked away from the mansion, the first rays of sunlight casting long shadows behind us, I couldn't help but glance back one last time. The house stood as a silent sentinel, its secrets buried within its crumbling walls, waiting for the next unsuspecting soul to cross its threshold.